We are fucking live, fam. We are live. Let me just bring up the chat before. We are fucking live, fam. How's everyone doing today, man? How's day 200, 200 of lockdown? How's day 200 of lockdown? The stream delay is okay, right? The chat delay, the messages, it's on low latency, ultra low latency, so there should be maybe a 10 11 second delay at most. Gotta wait for some messages. Empire's still happening. No. Didn't Tanya say that she wasn't feeling it? We moved it to Sunday morning. Saturday night, Sunday morning. I'm gonna start in a second. The chat delay is okay, right? Giovanni, Nandi. I need them quick confirmations, fam. We're resuming from where we left off. There we go. No more I've planned it. It'll be fine. Also, if you guys see the stream go down, wait a few minutes. Actually, wait a few minutes, because it comes back. Once it does what it does in the back end, right? It comes back. As long as it's not if something is flagged, it takes it down for a second or two, and then a few minutes later the stream comes back. Daldo's telling me. So if it does go down, just wait around for a few minutes. Yeah, we can wait 5 more minutes. Alright, yeah, fine, that's fine, man. But yeah, we're resuming from where we left off, which is Clockwork Orange versus Awakenings, and I picked Clockwork Orange because it's for me it's an important film. Yeah, we can wait around. There's 6 people, but only 2 of you are speaking, man. Honestly, I don't know what it is with my subs. I don't know what it is. Like any other time, they're obsessed with like typing essays, exposition, history lesson, this. When it comes to speaking, social anxiety, what the fuck is this? Don't make fucking excuses, fam. Didn't get the notification via announcement, so that explains why I didn't know about the change of plan. Okay. This is the problem, Randy. There's no film connoisseurs like me, you, and Gio, man. The only film connoisseurs are me, you, and obviously Giovanni, man. Such a fucking shame. This is what weebdom has done. Anime, visual novels, anime, weeb shit. Japan, exotic. Fuck off, man. Piss off, man. The world is fucking rich with so much other shit, man. Where my boys, Zess? Hey, what's up, cool stuff? 7 watching. Okay, we'll start. So, I left off. Some people are just waiting for my take, and then they want to just do their little nerdy little fucking typing away. Why isn't this on the list? Fucking pricks. Guess you need to stream for like 100,000 minutes. Okay, so I picked Clockwork Orange yesterday. As much as I love Awakening, that's a more sentimental film for me. Clockwork Orange is like Kubrick's for me, one of Kubrick's best films, next to Full Metal Jacket. A lot of you guys like 2001, Barry Lyndon. I know Nandi's different, but for me, everyone's different, right? As long as we appreciate the same director. So yeah, we picked Clockwork Orange. Okay, so this is an interesting matchup. RoboCop versus Nightcrawler. Look, the thing with, before I show you the trailers, right? The thing with movies from the late 70s and 80s is people think they don't hold up. They're cheesy for now, man. They don't hold up. But I feel like Paul Verhoeven's movies, particularly his good ones, they all satire. People never realized RoboCop and Starship Troopers was satire about fascism. So RoboCop's satire about corporate fascism and privatization. Like, what happens when you privatize the police, and what happens when you're in a fucking Detroit, right? It takes place in where there's inequality and all that kind of crap, right? So it's satire on that. Starship Troopers was fucking about a right-wing dystopia and satire about that. His films fucking hold up. What website are you using this tournament? It's called bracketfights.com. Yeah, bracketfights.com. So RoboCop for me is easily one of its time. It's like Terminator. But it's more than just that. I feel it's more biting in its commentary than Terminator. Even though it feels very cheesy, but it's satirical, right? It's like fucking Starship Troopers. People don't understand that. It's all satire, fam. And then we got Nightcrawler, one of my favorite modern movies. My favorite Jake Gyllenhaal performance. It's one of those. It's not indie. You could call it indie, right? But it's one of those. Not big studio films. Nobody watched it in cinema. I think I was the only one that watched it in cinema, and it's really a great. What kind of film is it? It's a unique film. You would not have seen a film like this. I don't. Maybe it drew from different genres, right? But I never come across a film about a character like this. We've seen sociopathic characters, right, like American Psycho, but they put it in a scenario which is you're not used to watching. It's basically a cameraman, right? So I'll show you a trailer, guys, without rambling too much. I'll show you guys trailers and then we'll decide, man. Alright, RoboCop first.
We've got to volunteer. The body is on the way.
Sure. All Detroit has a cancer. Cancer is crime. In a row.
As you know, we've entered into a contract with the city to run local law enforcement.
We were able to save the left arm.
What? I thought we agreed on total body prosthesis. Now lose the arm, okay?
We get the best of both worlds. Onboard computer-assisted memory and a lifetime of on-the-street law enforcement programming.
Hey, Louis, it's Super Cop.
This guy's really good.
He's not a guy, he's a machine.
What are they gonna do, replace us?
Murphy, it's you.
Go get him, boy.
Thank you. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. Anything you say may be used against you.
You better back up, pal!
Your move, creep.
The future of law enforcement. RoboCop.
Okay, so let me make the case, right? Before I go Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is just such a super. Like, I'm picking Nightcrawler. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you now. But the thing is, police cuts happening right now. Police cuts in the UK. Privatization of NHS. This film is relevant, man. I don't care if people say it doesn't hold up, man. I know Nandi disagrees. He goes, these schlocky fucking late 70s, 80s movies don't hold up. I feel their commentary actually holds up. So this is why, for me, RoboCop is like up there. But Nightcrawler, like you say, Lou is a fucking amazing sociopath, right? And the film deals with America's obsession with crime, but they're obsessed with crime that happens in black neighborhoods, impoverished neighborhoods. But as soon as the fucking crime hits a white neighborhood, fucking it makes the news. It gets the clicks and the views, right? And Nightcrawler kind of the basis is around that people want to see more and more violence and gore and in their footage. All the news outlets want the cutting edge, as close to the violence as they can get. And this sociopath is kind of working his way up the ladder because he just doesn't give a fuck about human life. Let's watch the trailer for this, man. Nightcrawler is a fucking impeccable film, man. Impeccable fucking film. You guys decide. I think you guys won't go for the 80s films that I go for, but this will give you an idea.
Excuse me, sir? I'm looking for a job. In fact, I've made up my mind to find a career that I can learn and grow into. Who am I? I'm a hard worker. I set high goals and I've been told that I'm persistent. Now, I'm not fooling myself, sir. Having been raised with the self-esteem movement so popular in schools, I used to expect my needs to be considered. But I know that today's work culture no longer caters to the job loyalty that could be promised to earlier generations. What I believe, sir, is that good things come to those who work their asses off. And that good people, such as yourself, who reached the top of the mountain, didn't just fall there. My motto is, if you want to win the lottery, you have to make the money to buy a ticket. You have to make the money to buy a ticket. You have to make the money to buy a ticket!
love this performance. Top tier. Okay, top tier fucking performance. Now this film shows you why sociopaths succeed so well, why they succeed in any field. Surgeons, fucking acting, fucking television, you know, news anchors, fucking any profession, because they don't give a fuck about anyone. They're the people that they talk about stepping on people to get to where they are. These people stepped on people, but the way they do it is so fucking brilliant. He's a fucking scumbag, but you're rooting for him all the step of the way because people underestimate him, right? I respect this actor, man. One of the best actors he is, man. I don't think he gets enough recognition for his roles. Like Prince of Persia knocked his career down a little bit, but he worked his way back up doing this, Prisoners, fucking great movies like that. Such good acting. He does a good job in Psycho as well. I gotta give it to Nightcrawler. Like, it was a revelation for me. Like you say, it's an indie film. I wasn't quite sure if it was because of Jake Gyllenhaal, right? And I think Tony Gilroy or someone directed it, but I'm gonna give it to Nightcrawler. Both of these are actually commentary on something or other, right? But I feel Nightcrawler is such a competent film. He's such a fascinating character. You could make a film like RoboCop again, but I don't think you could make Nightcrawler any other way than what it was, man. Honestly, it's got some great acting in there. It's got a really dark ending, man. I would recommend all you guys go tonight and watch Nightcrawler, man. Fucking amazing film. I'm picking Nightcrawler as much as I love RoboCop. Okay, we have American History X or Departed. Like, people are thinking, oh fuck, man, of all the Scorsese films, why'd you pick Departed? I think Departed is the one I've seen the most, and I feel Jack Nicholson's performance was like, it was exceptional. Like, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, The Shining, and fucking Departed are my three favorite like Jack Nicholson performances. So I feel like, and Departed, there's so many great actors doing some of their best work. Even fucking Mark Wahlberg, who's a fucking shit actor. Like, I'm not gonna lie, most of the body of Mark Wahlberg's work is shit. Even Mark Wahlberg was good in there. And everyone on point. Everyone was fucking sick. And it's a remake. People say it's a remake of a Korean or Japanese film, right, called Infernal Affairs. That's why people knock it down a few points, because it's not fully original, they say. But I don't care, man. This was the movie that turned me on fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, because Departed came out the same year as Blood Diamond, I think, 2005. I think, you can correct me, look it up, whatever. Departed and Blood Diamond both the same year. I was like, fuck, DiCaprio is actually decent, man. And I thought Chinese movie Infernal Affairs. Yeah, have not seen American History X, Departed. So American History X, like I say, always relevant. Like, I'll show you the trailer. It will always be relevant. There's never a time in America where American History X won't be relevant. So I'll show you guys a clip from.
Excuse me.
A clip from
Sir?
American History X.
I'm looking for a job.
I'll show you guys a trailer for Departed. I cut this clip myself. I didn't want it to go too long, but you'll get an understanding of why American History X is fucking relevant, man.
Every night, thousands of these parasites stream across the border like some fucking pinata exploded. Don't laugh. There's nothing funny going on here. This is about your life and mine. It's about decent, hard-working Americans falling through the cracks and getting the shaft because their government cares more about the constitutional rights of a bunch of people who aren't even citizens of this country. On the Statue of Liberty, it says, give me you're tired, you're hungry, you're poor. Well, it's Americans who are tired and hungry and poor. And I say, until you take care of that, close the fucking book. Because we're losing. We're losing our right to pursue our destiny. We're losing our freedom. So that a bunch of fucking foreigners can come in here and exploit our country. And this isn't something that's going on far away. This isn't something that's happening places we can't do anything about it. It's happening right here. Right in our neighborhood. Right in that building behind you. Archie Miller ran that grocery store since we were kids here. Dave worked there, Mike worked there. He went under, and now some fucking Korean owns it who fired these guys and is making a killing because he hired 40 fucking border jumpers. I see this shit going on, and I don't see anybody doing anything about it, and it fucking pisses me off. Alright,
you guys still there? I hope my stream didn't go down for that. You see why that's relevant. You see why that film is relevant. The beautiful fucking thing about this film is it spends so much of its time, right? Yo, you there? You right to manifest destiny. It spends so much of its fucking time actually respectfully, as respectful as you can be of that case they're making, not caricaturizing these racists. They're racist, but they don't caricaturize them. They believe what they believe. They hate black people, they hate foreigners, they hate, and they respectfully go, okay, you've made your fucking case. We've made fucking Ed Norton the mouthpiece for it. Intelligent fucking guy, smartest guy in Hollywood, right? Made your case. Now let's tell you why you're fucking wrong. That's what I fucking love about American History X. It's always relevant. Ed Norton's best fucking performance is fucking scary how charismatic he plays this neo-Nazi, right? Then everything flips, and all the stuff that happens in prison, fucking exceptional fucking movie, man. Exceptional fucking. You haven't seen American History X? Fuck me, man. Fuck me. You have to watch it. Alright, let's go for Departed. I think I've already kind of made up my mind, but let's look at trailer for Departed. Teaser trailer. Oh, there we go. Oops.
You, William, what would you do?
Reckon how many of these guys have been with you long enough to be disgruntled, huh? The question is, and this is the only question, who thinks that they can do what you do better than you?
The only one who could do what I do is me. A lot of people had to die for me to be me. You want to be me?
Little teaser. How many of you guys seen Departed in the chat? Let me know. I mean, come on, man. There are Scorsese movies you would have seen, and this would definitely be one of them. How many of you guys seen fucking Departed, man? Tell me. I don't want to feel like I'm talking into the ether, man. Yeah, I'll post the picture. I'll post the image of my bracket at the end. How many of you fuckers seen Departed? Let me know, man. What's going on? Why is the chat fucking dead? I'm looking on my phone, so there's no delay on the phone. You haven't seen it. Fucking what is it with you guys, man? Alright, so Departed is a great crime film. It's a great he's undercover cop Costigan, right? Billy Costigan, and he goes undercover, and it's so edge of your seat tense. Fucking Jack Nicholson is such a terrifying fucking presence. 20 seconds, okay, ultra low latency. That's the most I can have it, right? So he's constantly on the brink of getting caught, but then they've got another guy undercover who's a fucking corrupt cop. It's all tangled and weaved, and honestly, the only thing people hated when I watched Departed, back when I watched it in cinemas, right, is people hated the ending. They hated this whole shootout thing where everyone killed each other, blah blah blah. Apart from that, it was a fucking great movie. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna give it to American History X. Always relevant. Every time you watch it, it's gonna resonate with you. Watch every Scorsese movie in this bracket, please. Yeah, watch every movie in this bracket. I'm gonna give it to American History X. Okay, these two are special to me, particularly me. They say a lot about me as a person and the stuff like that just speak to me, right? So we got Blade Runner and we got Wonderful Life, right? I'm gonna start with Wonderful Life, right? I used to watch this is like 40s movie, man. Why the fuck you? No, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Like Scorsese movies pretty much end the same way. I am not skittish towards American History X. Definitely a reflective film. I'm certainly. It doesn't feel forced now. It doesn't feel. It's written fucking impeccably. The one thing you can say about that film is that it's written fucking by someone who understands both sides, right? So, sorry, I was gonna say the one. Let me move on, man. Enough with the fucking delays and shit. Wonderful Life is a film for the 40s, right? It's a Christmas movie, and I used to watch it on BBC Two. They used to air it like every Christmas on BBC Two, I think it was. The thing about this movie, it's a Christmas family movie, but it gets really dark. It's probably one of the most like groundbreaking films of its time because it dealt with suicide. Like it was a Christmas movie, but it's about a dude who sacrifices all the happiness in his life to do well for others, but he falls on hard times. He's got a whole fucking family, beautiful family, but he's like, he just loses it and he wants to commit suicide, right? So in the film, an angel comes and shows him how much poorer people's lives will be without him in it, because he's touched so many lives and he doesn't even realize how many people's lives he's touched for the better. And it gets dark, really dark, right, for a family film like this. So I'll show you guys a trailer, and we'll talk about Blade Runner afterwards. I've not, of course, seen Blade Runner. No, it's a Wonderful Life is such a fucking great movie, man. Such a great movie. No film at that time was dealing with suicide. No deal. Christmas movie, but how many films of that era were dealing with suicide? Actually maturely dealing with, suicide and people who are suicidal and shit like that. So let's go to It's a Wonderful Life trailer. I have to get a fan trailer.
I know what I'm gonna do tomorrow, and the next day, and next year, and the year after that. I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet, and I'm gonna see the world.
Amazing film. You'll be crying at you.
Harry, you're shaking the house down. Stop it.
Oh, let them alone. I wish I was up there with them.
This is me. You remember me? George Bailey. What is it you want, Mary? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Charismatic actor.
I wish I had $1 million.
And then it's a dark turn.
I'm in trouble, Mr. Potter. I need help.
At exactly 10:45 p.m. Earth time, that man will be thinking seriously of throwing away God's greatest gift.
I don't want any plastics, and I don't want any ground floors, and I don't want to get married ever to anyone. You understand that? I want to do what I want to do.
Okay, well then there. It's, for me, it's like, it was so impressive for me to see a film from that era dealing with, I know obviously people were dealing with it then, but not in the 40s. Suicide is like people consider suicide like a modern phenomenon, right? Suicide rates high. Like back in the fucking 40s or where it was, right? People weren't talking about that. But this did it in a way which is sort of like a great anti-suicide film. It's a great film to watch just to bring you back, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. So yeah, so like Nandi said, the authors were doing it, but mainstream-wise, almost none were doing it. Blade Runner, let's go fucking Blade Runner. This is gonna be hard for me. There's one sentimental and one is just like a fucking genre which is just something I love.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain.
I need you, Dex. This is a bad one. The worst yet. I need the old Blade Runner.
No choice, huh?
No choice, pal.
It seems you feel our work is not a benefit to the public.
Replicants are like any other machine. They're either a benefit or a hazard. If they're a benefit, it's not my problem.
I want more life.
All I'm gonna ask you fuckers is name me one other cyberpunk movie other than Blade Runner. Just name me any one that is memorable to you. Cyberpunk movie. Any of you guys in the chat, name one thing that comes to mind apart from Blade Runner. That should show you how fucking groundbreaking this fucking film was for its time. The fucking vision of this film, Ridley Scott's fucking vision, the way he realized a novel like that, hands down one of the great science fiction films. I'm referring to Final Cut, of course. I like the director's cut and the Final Cut. It's still gorgeous there, but it looks amazing. The pacing is tight. It's got better pacing than 2049. So it deals with fucking the whole debate that came out after a replicant. Is he not? Is he this, that, and the other? Forget that. It's the world that they built, that they were able to create a whole sequel out of it. You know, to explore more of this fucking world, and they could still keep going. Alita Battle Angel. I mean, Alita Battle Angel is dystopian, but as a film, like, would you just like, would that come to mind? Like, there's plenty. You could call Matrix cyberpunk dystopian. You could kind of qualify that, right? But that's not the one that comes to mind, man. Whenever I think cyberpunk, only one thing in the traditional sense is fucking Blade Runner. Even though I liked Alita Battle Angel, but it's just nowhere near Blade Runner. As much as I enjoyed it, I'm Gen Z lore, original Gits anime film. Yeah, I mean in the anime realm, Gits is one of the big ones. You know, Blame you could say as well, but I'm talking as far as live action goes. I'm shocked that this film came out of the. I'm not really that shocked, but the vision is amazing. You know what? Fuck it, Blade Runner. Fuck it. Okay. Okay, next one on the list is American Psycho and The Thing. What can I say about these films? Have any of you guys seen The Thing or American Psycho? If you have not seen the original Psycho, you fuckers must have watched the American Psycho. For me, it's Christian Bale's one of his most eccentric, but one of his best performances for me. Like, that was the film that made me go, fuck me. Bale is a guy who throws himself into every role he does. That's one thing I like about Bale. Even if it's a fucking minor role, big role, shit film, he'll throw himself into that fucking role. He took it seriously. Finally, a comparison that makes sense. These comparisons weren't meant to make sense. This is there to force me to think objectively about which film, even though I like them both, which is actually better than the other in my opinion. That's the only reason. They're not meant to be like fucking go to Goodfellas versus Departed. It's not meant to be. That makes it fucking easy. You know what I mean? Have not seen American Psycho. Of course, Moyne knows I have seen The Thing. Of course, yeah. Okay, so I'll show you a trailer for American Psycho. I think from the trailers alone, you guys will pick American Psycho. But the reality of the situation is it's not that easy. It's not that easy to pick. So what's this trailer? This is such a fan pleaser or crowd pleaser.
You know what Ed Gein said about women?
What did Ed say?
He said, when I see a pretty girl walking down the street, I think two things. One part of me wants to take her out, talk to her, be real nice and sweet and treat her right.
And what the other part of it think?
What her head would look like on a stick. I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane? Really impressive. Another martini, Paul.
Jared Leto is a fucking great actor, and you can see that in this film.
I know my behavior can be erratic sometimes.
Stupid bitchy!
What are you so fucking zany about?
I'm just a happy camper, rocking and a rolling.
If you don't shut your fucking mouth, I will kill you.
No, I'm in touch with you, man. Hey, Paul!
I just had to kill a lot of people!
So what do you do?
I'm into, murders and executions mostly.
Do you like it?
Well, it depends. Why?
Like, for me, if we're talking about do you know how Joker, right? Yeah. Oh shit, no, A Country of All Men is in the final. I just saw, yep. Whoops, late. No, you're not too late. I only started like 10 minutes ago. So, you know how Joker, like people say Joaquin Phoenix carried that whole film, a one actor film, Chad Bateman versus the Virgin Bateman, yeah. How he carries the film. This was, for me, like, obviously this is like the Joker of his time. He carried the whole film on his shoulders by himself. That showed you how great of a fucking actor like Christian Bale is. I don't think Christian Bale's carried a movie by himself since then. Like, he's had a couple of movies. He's done a Chinese movie about the World War and all these other movies, Ensemble and blah blah blah. But honestly, man, American Psycho was such a fucking treat, such a treat to watch. Like, it's not supposed to bring a smile in your face. This guy's fucking deeply troubled, fucking psychopath, sociopath, you know. But it's a great contemporary sort of like imagining of Psycho and all that kind of thing. But we'll go with The Thing now. Thing's fucking amazing film. You guys, I hate the fact that people don't like horror, man. There's an underappreciation of horror. The horror doesn't hold up. You know what I mean? We all fucking look at Alien, right, and go, look at the practical effects. CG is terrible. That whole conversation about CG is terrible, practical, comes from fucking movies like this, where they showed you fucking practical effects. Alien, The Thing, all practical effects, fucking amazing films in it. Let's go for The Thing. There we go. This is a fan trailer, so I'm using fan trailers.
Mac wants the flamethrower. Mac wants the what? That's what he said. Now move.
Yeah, it's a fan trailer, which is why I bought up fucking Alien and The Thing. Great practical effects. Yeah, it's from the Alien trailer. It's a fan trailer. That's the only way I can get away with showing you. And you know, to be honest, the fan trailers are better than the old trailers. Look, I mean, go back to some of the trailers for these films. They're terrible. Silence of the Lambs is a fucking terrible trailer. Even Drive, which isn't an old film, Drive, right, the Ryan Gosling film, terrible fucking trailer. Doesn't give you an idea of what the film is like. It's like a Bittersweet Life, the Korean film I had on the list. Terrible fucking trailer, but you get the idea, right, of the body horror and everything, right? The Thing for me is like up there with practical effects, the suspense, the mystery. For me, John Carpenter's best film. Well, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? You're scaring me now, Giovanni, man. God damn it, man. I planned this fucking thing out, man. Don't scare me like that, fam. I have to wait for a response. It's 20-second delay. The stream didn't go down, did it? Okay, I'm good. Good, don't fucking scare me like that then, man. Give me context. So American Psycho is a thing. For me, Nandi knows, man, I'm a huge John Carpenter fan. I think there's maybe, in fact, as far as my bracket goes, I think maybe one too many John Carpenter films, but I could not keep them out, man. You guys don't understand. It's just a time thing, right? A lot of people love the 70s era. For me, a lot of people don't even look at the 80s as for films, but for me, we all grew up on the 80s, right? We 90s kids grew up on the 80s. Breakfast Club, blah blah blah, John Hughes films, all that shit. So for me, why wouldn't I you know, revere that era? I think The Thing, man, it's just too fucking iconic, man. So yeah, didn't go down. Good. Okay, this one's interesting. Christian Bale's in this film. Sorry, Christian Bale is in this bracket, and it's another. This film called Assault on Precinct 13, and it's versus Empire of the Sun. So on the left is Assault on Precinct 13 from '76, I think, and on the right is Empire of the Sun, which is I'm assuming a late '80s or a '90s movie. And these two movies couldn't be more different, right? I was going wow over the Alien trailer immediately, not knowing it was a fan trailer. See, that's what I mean. Fans are cutting better trailers than, you know, studios are. So the Assault on Precinct 13 is like the only exploitation cult film I have on my list. You're gonna watch the trailer and you're gonna go, what the hell is this? Like, I get that you like this film, but best of all time. I'll tell you this. For a film in the mid 70s, late 70s, with an exploitation film with a black male actor, wasn't jive talking, and he was an actual charismatic male lead in a film in this genre, this film undid so many stereotypes. It undid so many stereotypes, and it's one of the best siege films. For me, one of the best exploitation films. At the same time, it undid so many of the stereotypes you see of these characters in this genre. And then on the right you got Empire of the Sun, which is the war movie about when Japan took over Shanghai, China, right, in the World War. And Christian Bale gets separated from his parents. He gets put in a camp. The fucking amazing film. We'll watch the trailers, and you guys decide what you feel. Where's it going? There we go. Watch Assault on Precinct 13 first. 90s movie. Okay, yeah, 90s movie. You're not going to understand Assault on Precinct 13, but let me make the case.
Freeze! This is the police. Drop your weapons and place your hands above your heads.
On Saturday, 6 members of the gang known as Street Thunder were ambushed by the police. On Sunday, the warlords of Street Thunder swore a blood oath to avenge their dead. For the gang called Street Thunder, it is a day of vengeance. It's war in the streets.
Oh, Jesus, come on. Come on, I'll give you my money. Just don't hurt me, please. Please.
It's terror in the night. It's the most shattering assault on a police station in history. Assault on Precinct 13.
This is the siege. It's a goddamn siege.
Stay here and hold until somebody comes, okay? We're in the middle of a city, inside a police station.
What does that mean?
They're not afraid to die. Any of them. They want to rip us apart, no matter what it costs. Means to the death.
Precinct 13, cut off, isolated in the middle of a city, as a human wave of street killers turns the night into a nightmare.
We got a war going on down here. We can't find the damn thing.
Alright. So, like, you guys can see, right? You guys can see that was an exploitation film, right? And it's for me the best siege movie ever. But one thing, the setup is going to remind you of something. Gio will know. The film is about a cop on the last shift of a police station that's shutting down, right? And they make these fucking dogs out there seem like horror characters. There's nothing supernatural about this film, but the way the film presents thugs and hoodlums as these supernatural forces, and it's a siege. It's easily like influenced on Resident Evil 2, and you know how much I love Resident Evil 2. So for me, I fucking love this, and how much influence this film has had on subsequent films and sieges and things. Fargo had a scene that was reminiscent of the TV show. Had literally ripped off a fucking scene from this film. It's a fucking amazing film. But let's go Empire of the Sun. I think it's a more mainstream film, but one of Spielberg's best like war films. Empire of the Sun. There we go.
They'll find these American dogs.
You must have seen this. If you haven't seen this, man, I'm wondering if you guys are fucking weebs, man. Like legit. You must have seen this. It's got Japan in it. It's got Japan in it. You must have seen it, you fuckers.
A desperate time. A world at war. A boy alone.
Yeah, Spielberg was like a filmophile, man. A lot of his films just took from other films. It's like fucking Darren Aronofsky. John Malkovich and Bale, both fucking amazing in this film. Yeah, for me, what was the great thing about this was it's so easy to have a war film which is dour and violent and doesn't look at the hopeful side of things, but this film managed to, for me, it's got one of the two best child performances I've ever seen. So Natalie Portman in Leon, I feel like is one of my favorites, and as far as child performances fucking go, Empire of the Sun is up there. Bale in Empire of the Sun, like, Moin gotta get on, come and see. He will love it. I'll check that out. Yo, Mackenzie said, would you ever consider doing a top 32? And now, openings of all time. If I could get away with showing them, you know what I mean? Even with openings, the copyright situation with that is even worse than with these stuff. Because these films, you know, Bundy anime, forget it. I'll consider it, you know, but I'm not gonna do an anime bracket because you guys know number one will be LOTGH. No matter what I put in, it would just be LOTGH. I don't know if I've seen a good war movie. I think Empire of the Sun is a good family war movie. It's not good. It's not violent. It's not. War movies have to be brutal to show you the consequence of the war and the violence. But Dunkirk wasn't violent at all. Like, how much violence and blood was in Dunkirk? There wasn't. There is a. You can tell a war story without it being like, oh, look how grim and fucking shit war is. This was one of those hopeful Spielberg films, and you just invested in this kid, man. It's fucking amazing. Which one would I give it to? I'll give it to Empire of the Sun, definitely. Okay, so now we're getting into the second brackets now. So no more trailers. Shawshank or Leon? I'm gonna give it to Shawshank or Leon. What? Laugh my ass off. What? Wait. Go watch Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now is decent. I'm not gonna lie, for all the mega directors out there, like, this might be controversial, right? I feel Francis Ford Coppola is the most overrated good director out there. Like, I saw Dracula. Dracula was decent. There was fucking some movie Francis Ford Coppola. I've seen a bunch of other ones that aren't Godfather, that aren't fucking Apocalypse Now, right? For me, he's the most overrated of the top directors, right? Because what's he done since? He's got a whole string of bad films out there. People don't even talk about that. Look at Scorsese has fucking a stream of good films, you know. Nolan has a stream of good films, you know what I mean? But Denis Villeneuve has a stream of good films. Tarantino, stream of good. Coppola's got plenty of fucking shit out there. Never mind, Leon's literally right here. Coppola had his run in the 70s, yeah. Saving Private Ryan are the two on my list. Okay. I need to see Thin Red Line. That's the only movie I can think of, a long one, prominent one that I want to still see. And sorry, Strangelove. So I'm gonna give this to Shawshank. I feel for me Shawshank is a universal film. Clockwork Orange and Nightcrawler. I'll give it to Nightcrawler. That was a revelation for me. As much as I have a Kubrick film on this list that I liked better than Clockwork Orange, but as far as Nightcrawler goes, it's just, for me, it's distinctive, man. Nightcrawler, I'm not even Nightcrawler. You can't knock his streak though. Godfather Part 2, Conversation, Apocalypse Now. Yeah, I mean he had a good streak, right? But you have to look at his whole career, man. You have to look at his career. Tarantino now, not so much from what I've heard. Any Tarantino, I mean, I did them yesterday, man. I had the only one I could really qualify was Reservoir Dogs. Honestly, like for me, like as far as exceptional Tarantino movies go, the one I fucking always revisit, it was fucking Reservoir Dogs, man. I can't fault that movie. Like any Tarantino, Final Gonna Be, No Country for Old Men, Clockwork for me, hands down. What are the 6 from the right? Missed. Okay, so let me take it back. So 6 from the right. We had Shawshank versus Sicario. We had Leon versus Skyfall. We had Clockwork Orange versus Awakenings. That was the one I did right at the end of the last stream. No Kurosawa movies. Look, those films are fucking fantastic. But I have to. It has to be memorable. Like for me, the test was, what are the 32 films that come straight to my mind? You can't research it. You can't corroborate and go, okay, what do the critics say? What does IMDb say? I'm gonna put that. I'm not doing an elitist list. Why do you think fucking Assault on Precinct 13 is on that list? Why is an exploitation cult film on that list? Why are so many John Carpenter films? It's not about like my decision to decide between these films is objectively based, but the decision to put these films into the brackets weren't on any objective measure. It was just what I remember is fucking great, what holds up for me. It's my list, right? Hey, have you seen Harakiri before? No, Pulp Fiction. I like Pulp Fiction, but that's the thing though. There's so many movies out there. You try making this list and tell me how many movies. Try and make a list of 32 films and tell me how many movies you have to cut from there. I cut another John Carpenter. They Live is a film I cut from this list. John Carpenter's They Live, a fucking cultural fucking movie. Like it's culturally relevant all the time. That didn't make the list, and that kills me. A bunch of films should have made this. Drive didn't make the list. I wanted Drive to be in it. Look how many movies you have to fucking cut to make a top 32. You try doing it yourself, and then you see how many things make it on. Tell me how much fucking dick riding of Akira Kurosawa you can do when you're trying to think of Korean movies, French fucking movies, movies before the fucking 70s. You know what I mean? So like it's difficult, man. But you have to be true to like you as a person, right? I remember watching. Citizen Kane. Fucking, I couldn't put that on there. A bunch of old movies I wanted to put on, but I couldn't. It's more than a samurai film. It's actually a critique on samurai culture and acts of committing seppuku. It's one of those for me. Like, it's another universal fucking movie, but it's also, like you say, it's culturally relevant, right? It's a good insight into those films. But for me, it's like it's difficult, man. It's difficult to even do it. Can't even list 32 movies. You know what I mean? You try doing this bracket, Grease or Who It Nandi, and tell me how many films don't make it onto the list. How many people will come into your stream and go, "Oh, why isn't this on the list? Why isn't that on the list?" You know, I've even seen Strangelove. Like, there's only so many films a man can watch, right? And I'm trying to get through the list, right? Strangelove, Thin Red Line, a bunch of French movies, a bunch of fucking old movies. So, American History X or Blade Runner. Fuck. Okay, now these always get harder as you go on and on, right? I'm not a fan of Japanese cinema, but I really enjoy Korean and Chinese. Yeah. Watch 12 Angry Men. It still holds up even now. That's on my list as well. 12 Angry Men's on my list. You know, people are probably wondering why Schindler's List not on this list. Why do you have fucking Empire of the Sun from fucking Spielberg, but you don't have Schindler? Like, you're always gonna get these questions. No bracket is perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect. This is me just top 32. Do you watch Korean movies like Parasite or what? I mean, I have fucking Madeo and Bittersweet Life on this list, Levent. So Korean movies are represented in this. Memories of Murder, Joint Security Area, Good, the Bad, the Weird, Brotherhood. I can't even mention all the Korean films that didn't make it on this list. I just picked the ones that stood out for me, you know what I mean? You'll like it. Okay. Oh, you've seen 12 Angry Men, dull. You've seen 12 Angry Men, dull? This is calling a soul, man. Okay, so American History X or Blade Runner. I'm gonna give it to Blade Runner. I love the cyberpunk genre. It's just Blade Runner is like a really exceptional fucking movie. Empire of the Sun or The Thing. The Thing. Nah. I'm biased for horror, so it's gonna be The Thing. Shawshank or Nightcrawler. Shawshank or Nightcrawler. Some of these are gonna be easy. Some of these are gonna be hard. It's a good mix of art house, mainstream, more, and I like it. You know, I wasn't making this list to be representative of everything. You know, I got too many John Carpenter films in this, but people know I love John Carpenter. I love horror, right? So it could have been worse. This bracket could have been worse. There could have been way more horror. Exorcist, William Friedkin, right? And fucking Exorcist. Like you're thinking, fuck man, if you're a horror fan, why do you fucking Exorcist in there? I had to think, fam. You know what I mean? Shawshank. I'll give it Shawshank. 12 Angry Moments, Blade Runner. I'm surprised people have trouble watching Blade Runner. Blade Runner comes in at just under 2 hours, I think. 2 hours or just under 2 hours. It's a more watchable film than 2049. I feel the pacing for the only reason I can't put Blade Runner 2049 in perfect movies, even though its cinematography is perfect, is its pacing is fucking terrible. When the original film could come in at just under 2 hours, there's no reason your film has to be fucking like as dragged out as, you know, as 2049. Okay, Blade Runner or The Thing. Okay, this is tough. These are both genres I love. Cyberpunk, dystopia, horror, John Carpenter. Lawmoin, why are you even explaining your decisions? Your list, not the public opinion. I'm explaining for the people who've seen these films. Anyone who's actually seen these films. Anybody played the old Blade Runner game on PC? I think we had this conversation. I haven't, but Giovanni, that was the first time he heard. Somebody here had played the Blade Runner game. I'm gonna give it Blade Runner. By a fraction. Blade Runner. Bloody hell, this is getting... Oh fuck, okay. Blade Runner or Shawshank. You know, I've changed my mind a lot on Shawshank over the years. You know, there used to be a time where Shawshank would never be... It's like, it was kind of like FMAB for me, right? FMAB for me was like never be shifted from my top, and then eventually did, right? And the more I watch Blade Runner, the more I feel like its narrative layers, its world, its vision, it's just so much more ambitious than, you know, Shawshank, which is based on a Stephen King novel, right? So it's not original, right? So I don't know, Blade Runner, come on home. Fuck me. To be honest, alright, let's go with... What would you guys pick? Blade Runner or Shawshank? These films, most of you guys should have watched. Levent, we should have watched these. I'm guessing Nandi, Giovanni. What would you guys pick? Blade Runner was old man. For me, No Country of Old Men, right, is as close to a perfect film as possible. But Blade Runner's just... I'm constantly reminded how fucking great it is, Blade Runner. You don't have any sort of memory of Shawshank and how fucking beautiful that fucking film is. Sentimental in me would pick Shawshank. Like, I can't help but get emotionally invested in thing. Blade Runner is very cold. It's very cold right up until the end with the speech from Blatty. But Blade Runner, like I said, Shawshank was forgettable. Okay, you can say a lot of things about Shawshank, but you can't say it's forgettable, man. Even I have difficulty picking. Fuck me, man. Fuck me. The cuts of Blade Runner I saw is what put it above. The theatrical cut is nowhere near the director's cut, or the final cut. Alright, fuck it, Blade Runner. Blade Runner. It's just a more, I feel it's a more ambitious film in every respect, so. Here we go. Here's the final one, man. Great taste, man. For me, No Country for Old Men is definitely top 3. Shawshank, however, has one version. Blade Runner does not, but that's not Ridley Scott's fault. Yeah, I mean, Scott is used to doing director's cuts, right? So, because he did Kingdom of Heaven director's cut, which is actually fucking amazing compared to the original. Okay, No Country for Old Men or Blade Runner. You'd be surprised how many people haven't seen both of these films. You'd be surprised how many people have not seen Blade Runner and not seen No Country for Old Men. Ah, fuck, man. Nandi knows me too well. It's No Country for Old Men. It's No Country for Old Men. For me, it's as close to a perfect film, right? It's very, very light on dialogue. Like, this film is very light on dialogue, to the point where it could basically be it could be a silent film. It could easily be a silent film. The way it's shot, the way there are scenes which have basically no dialogue. It's similar in Dunkirk in that regard, where hardly anyone speaks. You just see what someone's doing, right? And you could watch this film without fucking any audio, and you'd kind of get what's going on. Javier Bardem had the best performance in NCFOM, in my opinion. What's NCFOM? What's NCFOM? Sorry, No Country for Old Men. Sorry. He is one of the greatest cinematic villains I've ever seen. The fact that he's such a distinctive and unique villain also plays into the story, the title of the story. The film, fucking, it's the best cat and mouse movie. It's such a fucking, like, you know, cinematic language. This is what it means to be cinematic language. Something you can only do on film, and it's very little to do, well, somewhat to do with the writing. I just fucking love it. It's a perfect fucking film. Perfect film. Can't fault it in any way. If one of my friends, right? One of my friends said he thought it was pretentious. He thought all that stuff with the toss the coin, pick heads or tails was pretentious, right? But the whole film deals with like the idea that, like, you can't predict anything. The nature of crime you can't predict. That was the whole point of that thing. He thought it was pretentious, and what are these fucking scenes about him talking to a shopkeeper and having these conversations? The whole dialogue that he had with him was meant to be a commentary on the film, and obviously at the end, right, with the sheriff. Have you read Blood Meridian? Nah, bro. You know, another film that I wanted to put on this was Wind River. The film Wind River is a kind of Memento. Yeah, I got the fucking Nolan film, and it's got Guy Pearce, I think. Guy Pearce, is that his name? Yeah, Guy Pearce film. I like Memento, and I like the way that Nolan deals with really abstract stuff, but in a studio, like a really palatable way. I love the way that Nolan takes he does smart sci-fi. Like, he does really grounded smart sci-fi, right? My parents said it was boring. Punch your parents in your face, Skyby, bro. You need to read it. It's McCarthy's masterpiece, and it's a better villain than Anton. Okay. The Road is another film I could have had on this, but I fucking didn't. Loads of honorary mentions I could have in this, man. Loads of them. Martyrs, French film, 2008. Fucking honorary mention to that, man. You try making your own list, man. We'll see how it goes. We're the good, bad, the ugly. Was any Fincher? For me, Gone Girl. I have a memo. I can show you my fucking memo I made on my thing. Gone Girl was on the list. Seven was on the fucking list. Things have to make the cut. You have to think on these things. Try making a list of 32 films, then come back to me and tell me how easy it is. Tell me how easy it is. Tell me how easy it is to make actually think as objectively as you can about the 32 films you would put on a list, and then do them. Tell me and come back to me, man. I would love for Nandi or Leven or you know, whoever else, Phil or Onch 518 to do a list and tell me how hard it is. It's not easy, man. It's not easy. You'd soon realize that you would put Werner Herzog, fucking Akira Kurosawa, fucking these guys, and by the time you got through the films of theirs that you loved and the Kubrick films, you would not have space for nobody else. You know what I mean? I can see people being heavily biased towards having Kubrick films, so at least 6 of your fucking brackets will be full of Kubrick. You know what I mean? I'm shocked that even that I've got 3 fucking John Carpenter films in this bracket, I was able to put in Guillermo del Toro in there. I was able to put Frank Capra in there. I was able to get 2 Korean films in there. I was able to get a French film in there. And Scorsese, you try making a list, right? It's even harder when you watch internationally, right? The fact that so many foreign films actually made it into this, and one classic film like The Wonderful Life, it's difficult, man. It's a mixture of old and new. You guys all thought that if you're going to make an elitist bracket, everything has to be from 1980s prior or 1970s prior. Not the case, man. We get plenty of good films now. You just have to look. You have to look into it and stuff. Look at Nightcrawler. For me, Nightcrawler could be a classic. Honestly, 10, 15 years from now, Nightcrawler could be up there. Om Shanti. Yeah, I know Bollywood and Lollywood and, you know, those weren't represented. But you have to be of your time, right? Like the list Scorsese released of his favorite movies of all time, I did not recognize one of them, apart from maybe Kurosawa films. I didn't recognize any of them, and Rev actually has the appropriate response here. I couldn't even make a list of it like this. I only recognize 3 films. It's of the era, right? I won't resonate with the films that fucking Scorsese grew up on. Someone like Phil, who's much younger than me, won't understand why I've got these films. Maybe 20 years from now, these films will be on people's lists, you know, when people are catching up to them. So, Das Boot, yeah, I've seen Das Boot. It's a long film though, man. I've seen Das Boot, man. I saw it in Pakistan, actually. It's ironic because in Pakistan you don't get many films, but I actually watched it on TV when I went on holiday to Pakistan ages ago. Das Boot, watched all of it, yeah. Abu Trilogy, The Big City, Has Heart, Best Indian Movie Ever, Gangs of Wasseypur 2. So yeah, I couldn't put everything on there. I just had to think off my memory. But yeah, No Country for Old Men gets this, man. Gets this. Fucking amazing film. It's for years it's been kind of like, I can't think of a film more perfect than No Country for Old Men. I want to do a watch along on Discord. I feel one of these days I'll probably do a watch along, right, and get everyone to watch No Country for Old Men with me, right? Yeah, so yeah, I'm not gonna waste any more. This is short, man. How long have I been streaming? Let me know. 5-hour movie? Nah, it's not 5-hour movie. That's why it's perfect for me. Okay, yeah, it's the right length. It's the pacing is perfect. You know, it's never boring. It's you know, like I can't speak bad of it. Like I would like you guys, if you haven't seen it, to watch it and then come back to me and tell me, could you take something from that movie that was just not good or hurt that movie? Nothing, in my opinion, hurts that movie. It's just got a fucking exceptional cast, man. Remember Our Godfather, Talk. Oh, Nandi's and things, 5-hour movie. Like the fucking Lawrence of Arabia made it into this list, man. And most people don't have the fucking patience to sit through a movies that long. You know what I mean? So it's a wonder that fucking Lawrence of Arabia made it through, man. Honestly. Yeah, so yeah, thank you guys, man, for joining, man. If you guys want to do one, let me know, man. I'll be there. I was there for Greece video game bracket. If you want to do a movie one, like do a movie one. And but the real question is, where is Shrek? You know, somebody messaged me on Twitter, right? He goes, you typical fucking elitist. I think it was Data Wiz, that guy that's always busting my balls. There's a guy called Data Wiz. I think he's an alternate account for ISA. He's constantly like, oh, you fucking elitist. You ain't got CG movies or comedy. How many comedy movies hold up for you? You don't think I do? You don't think I wanted to put Weird Science, Breakfast Club on there? You know? You don't think I put In Bruges in there? You don't think I wanted to put these comedy films in there? But some of these films, Anchorman, some of these films don't hold up. Like after the 20th time I watched certain comedy movies, they just weren't funny anymore. How do you put that in? Then if you took CGI movies, fucking Up from Pixar, or fucking Monsters Inc., or fucking Grave of the Fireflies, like you need to segment these lists, man. You can't put everything into a list because it says nothing. Yeah, Levent is right. Where the Shrek? Like, I might make my own separate CGI animated movie list that isn't anime. Like, what includes anime films, but includes Pixar movies, international fucking animations, and that kind of thing. Maybe, you know. Wait, is Truman Show considered comedy? It's comedy in the same way that the Martian is comedy, right? It would have been in the comedy bracket at one point. Blues Brothers is one of my favorite comedy films. Is that the one with Belushi and Aykroyd? That one. Is that a remake? I don't know. And then animated movies like Grave of the Fireflies are great, but yeah, I couldn't put animated ones in. Otherwise, I would have to shove too many out. You try including fucking your Kurosawa movies when you're thinking of anime movies, CGI movies, you know, from everywhere. You try making a list, man. So I would love to see you guys try and make a list. I got Guy Ritchie in there. I've always loved fucking Guy Ritchie's old stuff, man. I couldn't leave that out. For me, he's like he was the Tarantino of the UK easily, but he's just fucking lost his talent, man. Like since 32 movies. That's why it's so arbitrary. 32. Why not 35? Why not 30? 32 is what I could come up with in the time I had, right? No anime, nah. No point in anime. It'll be LOTGH, right? Is there any trailers you want me to watch for films that you recommend for me? 12 Angry Men. I don't know if I could probably check out a 12 Angry Men trailer. Let's check it out. 12 Angry Men. Probably get away with one of these trailers. I'm not gonna take too many recommendations though, because I don't want to put so many trailers that I fucking get like claimed for all of them. Classic trailer. Okay, let's watch this.
On the point of that knife, a man's life is at stake.
I'm just saying it's possible.
And I say it's not possible. I want you to watch this because I don't want to have to do it again. I'll make myself
I'll save a
6
picture.
or 7 inches shorter, okay?
It's about right, maybe a little more.
Okay,
If you need...
a little more.
What is this film about?
What's up?
Okay, I'm gonna pause it there. I don't want to spoil nothing too much. What is this film about, man? What the hell is this film about? Instead of me doing brackets, I'll just pick my favorite of each year and put them in order of earliest to latest. That's a good way. That's how Anime Snob does it. Keyboard Moin. What's the film about? Just give me a brief, like, elevator pitch synopsis. What's the film? No, I'll look at Come and See. That's the only other trailer I'm going to check out for now. Come and See trailer. Come and See Restoration trailer. Put Vada Chennai teaser. I mean, I'm gonna watch Vada Chennai. Workmeister Harmonies for trailer. Legit confused. What I'm asking, what is 12 Angry Men about? Just give me elevator pitch. Okay, Come and See, and after that, Workmeister Harmonies. That's it. I'm gonna watch Vada Chennai anyway, so it's fine. I don't know how much of this trailer I can play, but we'll see. Oh wow. Honestly, man, for the time it's shot, this film looks pretty dope. Oh, J.G. Ballard wrote Empire of the Sun. So that's why they put J.G. Ballard. Hallucinatory netherworld. Belarusian film. Oh my god, that looks insane. boldly poetic depiction of war. Okay, I've seen enough. I'm downloading this. I'm downloading this tonight. And what's the other one? Spielberg was inspired. Okay, that looks impressive. I'm already fucking shocked. I'm gonna download that. I am not watching over my Snow White video, hoping that there are no errors this time. Okay, and what's the last one? Werkmeister Harmonies. Okay, that's the last trailer I'll check out. Otherwise, I keep taking a risk here. I guess I can watch this. Any one of these trailers you recommend? Just tell me which one first, second, third. And then I'll end the stream. I hope no spoiler. Oh, I hope. Well, that's why I'm asking. Come and see. Let me write that down. Oh, shit. Come and see. Werkmeister Harmonies. Okay, write that down. I meant to type now watching and not watching. Okay, this movie is on my list. I think only Onch watched this. Okay, Onch, which one would you recommend? Which are the trailers? Fuck it, man. I'll just watch the top one. I do not own the copy. Okay, let's just watch this.
Azt kérem csak, hogy velem együtt lépjenek ki egy határtalan térbe, ahol az állandóság, a nyugalom és a béke, a végtelen üresség az Úr.
How old is this film? It looks modern, but just with a black and white film. Dope. Alright, take care, Reese. Better for you. It looks, yeah, look, it looks amazing, but better for you guys to just give me a small brief synopsis, right? When you guys get time, just leave it in the comments of this archive when it goes up, right? So then at least when I go into it, I have an idea what it's about, but I'm not spoiling too much of the imagery and all that. But I've wrote them down, Werkmeister Harmonies and Come and See. But yeah, thank you Onch, Sky Bebop, Napalm, all the lurkers who fucking were too shy to talk, the real Hokage, Levent, my boy Levent, Nandi, Rev, all you guys, man. Thank you for coming, man. You my boys, man. You actually come out and support, fam. But yeah, if you guys ever decide to do your own list, top 32, or just in general, type out your top 32 in my comments, man. Let me know. We'll see what similarities we have. But if you have a stream, just let me know on Twitter. But yeah, the comments section. What the fuck is that? 12 Hungry Men is basically about a kid who murdered some, and these 12 men talk about it and see if he killed that person, which is his father. Is it like a jury, like a jury of 12 men? It sounds like almost. And what is Onch? What is it's about a Hungarian town under Soviet authority, and its inhabitants falling into nihilism as a weird circus comes to town. Okay, that piqued my curiosity. I'll check that out. I wrote them down. 12 juries argue with each other. It's philosophical and intense. Okay, I'll check them out. Actually, you know what? I need to write 12 Angry Men down as well. Fuck. 12 Angry Men. Good recommendations. See, I'm not one of those people that just swears off films, man. And you give me any recommendation, I'll check it out. I'm always on the lookout for good films. But what I'll do is I'll post the image of my bracket so you guys can look. If you guys are having a difficulty telling what the film is based on the picture, just ask me, tweet me, and just tell me second line down, third one, whatever. But yeah, thank you guys. I'm not gonna ramble anymore, man. But peace out, guys. Thank you for joining, man. Greatness, good education lesson, good education for me, good education for you, Zoomers, you know, boomers alike, man. Peace out, guys. Take care.